Welcome back for a new deep dive. Today, we're really plunging into the epic world of Investiture of the Gods. It's this sprawling Chinese classic, and we're digging into one particular character, Deng Chan Yu. She's truly compelling. We've got quite a stack of sources tracing her journey, from formidable warrior to loyal wife. But what makes her story really fascinating, I think, is how it sort of shifts. It evolves across different tellings. So our mission really is to unpack her core character and explore some surprising twists in her lore. What's your first thought on why she's such a good fit for this kind of exploration?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Deng Chan Yu is fascinating because she embodies, immense strength, loyalty, but her narrative isn't nearly as fixed as you might expect, especially for a figure in such a foundational epic. It's kind of a perfect window, isn't it, into how powerful figures, especially women, are remembered and reimagined through history, through folklore. You'll see pretty quickly she's more than just a character on a page. She's like a dynamic reflection of storytelling itself, always being reshaped, reinterpreted, across centuries.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this incredible figure then. Our sources, they start by tracing Deng Chan Yu's origins within the novel Investiture of the Gods. She doesn't just show up, she emerges. A real force to be reckoned with, a heroic female general, someone whose presence is felt intensely. On the battlefield, we're talking about someone who really commands attention, not just rank, but sheer skill and, well, a rather unique weapon.
Indeed. Yeah, when she first appears, she's not just a general, she's a truly formidable opponent. Her most famous attribute, right, the 5 light stones, they're legendary. Just imagine a warrior who can precisely hurl these stones with such force, such accuracy, that they can knock even powerful deities off their mounts. It's almost magical, but also deeply grounded. It's a combat style that just immediately sets her apart. This isn't just brute strength, It's precision, speed, and a strategic mind all combined.
Right, and it's through that prowess, that skill, that her story kicks off, with this intriguing encounter and, well, a burgeoning romance with Yang Jian. Now, he's another pivotal figure in the epic, famous for his divine third eye, powerful abilities. Their initial clash is legendary, a real contest of equals that kind of evolves into something deeper. You have this incredibly powerful woman meeting her match in battle, and then finding a different kind of connection.
Absolutely. Yeah, their first interactions are all about martial challenge, respect. It's not some gentle courtship. It's forged in conflict, which, for many of these epic heroes, that's the ultimate test of character, isn't it? Her journey then includes her eventual surrender to Xiqi. That's the Western Zhou capital she was initially fighting against. And this is a really pivotal moment in her arc because it leads directly to her classic portrayal as marrying Yang Jian. This establishes her not just as a formidable warrior, holding her own against gods and demons, but also as this loyal and righteous woman, someone who chooses her allegiances wisely. And this vibrant relationship with Yang Jian, it's a key characteristic from these accounts. It highlights this strong partnership built on mutual respect, shared purpose within the bigger conflict. So yeah, this classic version paints a very clear picture of her identity, her role.
Okay, so in that traditional narrative, we have Deng Chan Yu. Heroic general, master of the 5 light stones, loyal wife to Yang Jian, righteous woman, dedicated to the cause of justice. It sounds almost, perfect, doesn't it? Pretty clear-cut. A figure we can easily define within the grand story of Investiture of the Gods.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Our sources reveal something genuinely surprising, a significant controversy around who she actually marries.
That's precisely the tension. Yes, it's fascinating. On one hand, the classic text clearly establishes her union with Yang Jian. But on the other hand, when you start digging into the broader tapestry of the lore, especially operatic adaptations, various regional folk versions, a completely different spouse emerges, Tu Xing Sun. Tu Xing Sun, wow. Now, for those maybe less familiar, this isn't just another heroic general type. Tu Xing Sun is, to put it mildly, unconventional. He's known for his diminutive stature, often described as being, no more than 4 feet tall, and his incredible ability to burrow through the earth, appearing, disappearing at will. He's also quite mischievous, sometimes even outright devious, and often plays a more comedic role, right?
Indeed, yeah. Tu Xing Sun is a character of really profound contrasts. He's incredibly skilled with his earth-burrowing technique, makes him invaluable in battle, a master of surprise attacks. Yet his appearance, his personality, often played for laughs. So pairing the stoic, formidable, traditionally heroic Deng Chan Yu with his short trickster figure, that's a narrative choice that just fundamentally alters her story. Think about the magnitude of that shift. I mean, this isn't some minor detail. It's a fundamental rewriting of one of the most significant relationships in her life, changing her marital fate entirely, depending on which version of the story you happen to be hearing or reading.
It's genuinely mind-boggling to think about that. When you first came across these different accounts, what was your initial reaction to such a fundamental reimagining of her story? Because for many listeners, this would probably completely upend their understanding of her.
Oh, it's exhilarating, actually. As someone who spent years with these texts, it's these divergences, these inconsistencies, they keep the material so fresh, you know? You think you know a character inside and out, and then some scroll from a different era, or maybe a different operatic libretto, just throws this delightful curveball like Tu Xing Sun into the mix. It forces you to question the whole concept of a definitive version of a legend. This isn't just a simple plot variation. It really challenges our perception of fixed character identities in these ancient tales. It's like a living testament to how stories adapt, maybe reflecting regional preferences or evolving moral viewpoints, or even just the dramatic or comedic needs of different storytelling forms.
Right, right. So it begs the question then, why this particular divergence? Are there theories that explain such a dramatic shift in something as core as marriage?
That's where the deeper analysis comes in, yeah. We have a few compelling theories. One prominent idea points to regional variations in folklore. Makes sense, right? Different communities telling these stories over generations. They might have favored a pairing that resonated more locally, maybe with their own heroes or perhaps reflecting their own cultural values about marriage, partnership. Just imagine a storyteller trying to appeal to their specific audience, tweaking details to make the tale more engaging, more meaningful for them.
So it's not one single monolithic narrative then, it's more like a tapestry, woven by many hands in different places over time.
Precisely. Exactly. And another really significant factor is the influence of operatic adaptations. Opera, especially traditional Chinese opera, often takes, let's say, liberties with source material. You know, to heighten drama, introduce specific character archetypes, or maybe enhance comedic elements, pairing the noble Deng Chan Yu with the often, well, bumbling yet still heroic Tu Xing Sun. That could create a more dynamic stage presence, maybe even a humorous one that really connected with theater audiences. It's kind of a masterstroke in character contrast, isn't it? The elegant warrior with the earthy, short, somewhat clownish burrower.
That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like a modern director deciding to cast someone completely unexpectedly in a well-known role changes the whole chemistry. And what does this tell us about Deng Chan Yu herself? That her character can actually sustain such a fundamental shift in her relationships and still be, well, Deng Chan Yu.
It speaks volumes, I think, about the inherent plasticity of legendary figures. Her core attributes, her courage, her loyalty, her skill with those stones, they remain constant. But the narrative context around her, particularly her most intimate relationships, can be incredibly elastic, flexible. It suggests that the essence of a hero isn't always tied to one single, unchangeable partner, but maybe more to their character traits, their contribution to the bigger story. It definitely challenges us, as you said, to consider which version we're engaging with and why those changes might have happened. It's not just a detail. It reflects these broader cultural shifts in storytelling and how different communities might have interpreted or reimagined her journey, maybe to tell a different kind of love story or to highlight different aspects of, say, courage and acceptance.
So, what does this all mean for you, our curious listener? Well, it means that even really established characters in these huge epic tales can have multiple interpretations, equally valid ones perhaps. It's a great reminder that stories are living things. They're continually shaped by the people who tell them, the times they're told in. It encourages us to approach narratives, especially ancient ones, with a sense of wonder, really, and a readiness to discover these alternative realities for characters we thought we knew so well. It shows there's always more to uncover, right? More layers to peel back, even in tales centuries old, and that the story behind the story can be just as compelling. So today, we took that deep dive into Deng Chan Yu. We appreciate her as that heroic female general, the loyal, righteous woman from Investiture of the Gods. But what truly captivated us, I think, was exploring this incredible revelation that her story, particularly her most intimate relationships, can be so dramatically reimagined across different tellings. We've seen her traditionally linked to the powerful Yang Jian, a classic pairing, but also, surprisingly, to the unconventional earth-burrowing Tu Xing Sun in other really significant accounts. It showcases this profound divergence in her narrative path.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really encourages us all to be critical readers, critical listeners, always asking about the source, about the evolution of a story. It highlights that the most compelling characters often have the most layers. And sometimes, yeah, those layers include entirely different destinies. This isn't just about Deng Chan Yu, of course. It's a principle that applies to countless figures in mythology, in literature. It invites us to explore that rich tapestry of human storytelling with maybe greater depth and curiosity. It teaches us that definitive answers can sometimes be elusive. And that's okay. In fact, that's part of the enduring magic of legend.
So, for your provocative thought to take away today, consider this. How many other characters out there, from ancient epics to modern tales, maybe even figures we feel we know intimately, might have similarly divergent paths hidden away in alternative versions, or forgotten lore we just haven't stumbled upon yet? What does it really mean for our understanding of a character's essence? If their most significant relationships, their actual romantic destinies, can shift so drastically, it's a thought that truly shows the dynamic, often surprising, nature of storytelling, and how even the strongest pillars of a character's life can be reimagined with each retelling.